Dear friends, I am happy to greet you. Alexey Ognev, CEO of DigiU project, is here with you, and today we are having another webinar, and we are having a special guest, the guest we've been waiting for a long time, and who is always a dear, very dear guest here. And this guest is here with really good news. Today we will speak with our blockchain lab manager, our technical director, Boris Povar, and we will speak about our Eywa project, and we will speak about the stage at which it is now, and when we are launching the testing of this project, and about the new opportunities it offers, and which are already being opened to our new users and to our existing users. Boris, we are happy to greet you. And before you start speaking, before you say hello, I would like to tell you, please write your questions in the chat. Doesn't matter where you are, please write your questions in the chat, and we will answer the most interesting questions in the end of this webinar. Please prepare your questions about Eywa, about our blockchain developments, and we will answer all those questions. We will answer, of course, only those questions which we haven't spoken about in the course of our webinar. Please be prepared for that. Boris, now, please, we are giving the floor to you. Please say hello to our audience. And the first question to you is, for those who have been with us for a short time, please tell us, what is Eywa, just for people to understand what it is all about and what we've been looking for so long. Well, first of all, I would like to greet our partners, and I would like to answer some of your questions, and I would like to answer this question. Eywa is, first of all, decentralized protocol of data transfer between blockchains. And it allows both our developers of decentralized apps to join different blockchains when, for example, one part of the app is in one blockchain and another is in another blockchain. And based on this protocol, Eywa is builds the decentralized exchange, which consists of different bridges between different assets and decentralized exchanges, which are located in lots of different blockchains, and everything is united in a unified interface, which we are about to test right now. This is if we speak professionally. But yes, if we speak professionally, but I think that those professional people, they understand a lot. They really understood what it is all about, and they understand the processes and everything. But now let us try to describe this for those of our audience who are not experts in blockchain. To put it simply, what is Eywa? What does it do? Maybe you can describe its philosophy. Maybe you can define it simpler. Okay, if we define it simpler, it allows you to replace your assets from one blockchain to another, to exchange your asset by another one, to replace one by another one. Maybe you have dollars and you exchange that for dollars in another blockchain, and they are as valid as in the first blockchain. It is, if it's really simple. So for the end users, for the final users, it can be put like that. But based on our technologies, we can build lots of different cases, and we offer to the other developers of DeFi to join us and to use our technology to build more interesting, more challenging paths and the new experience for your final users. And the simplest case I've exemplified right now. Yeah, well, now I would like to highlight that, first of all, we're working on the technologies for the final users, and you can use them in different areas. And the example of Eywa, this is a cross-chain exchange. The fact is that we develop a very profound technology. And this you should understand when you use our ecosystem and when you work with the securities. I would like to add, yes, we can compare it to, well, the level of transportation, communication channel. And based on this communication channel, we can implement lots of applications. We can call them like that. If we put it very simply, and it can be compared with the road, with the highway, and these are the cars, and the cars can go anywhere. And this is the second question, the second issue. And one of the applications of this technology is a decentralized exchange, which we are developing right now. Yes, this is in very simple terms. Okay, now I think it is clearer for non-professionals. And so non-professionals, please keep that in mind. And while we are speaking right now, Boris, you haven't been with us for several months, and there were news published by us about our achievements. But maybe you personally now can tell us about what you are proud of, what was very important, what happened to you within this period. Yes, these months were not easy. I'm really proud of the team I managed to find, because I spent lots of efforts and time to find those people. We attracted several HR agencies, which are experts in finding experts for blockchain technologies. We've applied all possible resources for 2 months. Maybe I was having 3-5 job talks every day, and now we have a very good team, a very big team. Now we have 17 developers in our team. 13 of them are work full-time, and 4 of them work part-time, or they are freelancers. We can call it like that. And this is what DigiU published in its news. The other people are those who deal with marketing, copywriting, design, and so on and so forth. And some of them are employed full-time, and some of them are outsources. And this is what makes me really happy, because we have a really cool team, a really powerful team, and we've got professionals, highest level professionals. Most of these people, of course, know blockchain, and they've participated in different blockchain projects. Some of them launched their own blockchain projects in the past. And just an example, to give you an example, we've got developers who used to work in the largest international corporations like Google, Accenture, and they were at the leading positions there. And well, we also have a professional who joined us recently and who used to work in one of the DeFi projects. And so this professional is really an expert in those things. We don't have many professionals like him in our team. And some people came to us from auditing companies, dealing with audit of smart contracts. We've got people like that, and I can speak about that for a long time. Totally, I've calculated today, we have 28 or 29 people totally who are working on the project right now, if we calculate each and every of them. And this is, of course, which makes me really happy. Yes, I can understand how difficult it was, how challenging it was, and how much time and how many efforts you put into that. And for our partners, well, maybe you can tell us what people work at what positions. If we speak about the development, we have developers who deal with writing the node, a node with the development of the node, but all of them are experts in the other areas because we work closely with smart contracts. And we've got the other developers, developers of smart contracts for Ethereum networks. We've got Rust developers who deal with writing software, smart contracts like Solana. And now it is being developed. And we've got front-end developers who mostly use React or Globox or Stacks. And we've got designers, a UX designer who just draws everything and uses different tools to project things, to design things. Yes, it was just for those who are interested in those questions, who ask those questions. And this is just for understanding what experts you've got. Well, I'd like to say that we are expanding. We're still looking for the other developers, more developers, and we are looking for a QA tester. We've employed one, and we're looking for more. Yes, and it is important to note that professionals like that Boris is mentioning right now, who come to us from the other projects, you should understand that this market is a narrow one. It is difficult to find experts in this market, and you can see that we managed to find experts and to steal them from another project, and it means that this expert shares our philosophy, and for us, of course, it is very important. I would just like to draw your attention to this fact, how powerful our community is in our company. Yeah, well, please confirm. Yes, and of course, the level of our technology team is very high. And now we're still having talks with the HR talks, and some people feel that they don't know anything. But in reality, there are really not many people who are experts in both Golang and blockchain, for example, and understand what it is, and also know what smart contracts are, and who can use Solidity, and who understand cryptography. But we need the expert in this very combination. Okay, but now we can start speaking about why we needed that combination of an expert. What stage is the project at right now? We've got a team, a very cool team of experts. We've got this team, and well, it took us a long time, and mass media write about us. Now, let us tell to our audience what stage the Eywa project is at right now. Okay, Eywa project is now at the stage of launching its alpha testing. What stages are there, actually? It can be the stage of hackathon, when there is an idea, and well, we can create some prototypes of products, and it can be demonstrated at the hackathon. Then there are some other new options and features, and some businesses can be added, and some extra functions can be added. And if it's a new complex project, it has to be tested, because in the course of its development, we are having some hypothesis of what the final user will have in the end, but the reality can be different. And of course, as early as possible, we have to show the product to our users and to correct it if required. Alpha testing is exactly for that. In many cases, it is closed when just a limited number of users can use that, can do that. For example, it's like that in games testing. After that, we have feedbacks, and we try to understand what we have to correct, what we have to change. Before we make the first release, the team understands what is to be improved. And now we are making improvements. We understand how many things we can improve. We understand that we have a very limited time we are going to release anyway, despite those improvements. But we will just make them later, and we will just do it stage by stage. If we speak about our blockchain products, the difference is mainly like that. First, originally, at the first stages, it is tested in so-called testnets. Testnet is blockchain which is launched in parallel with the main blockchain. It works in the same way. The difference is that the assets, tokens, coins have no value. Just in case, if we find some critical error or something, the user loses nothing because those coins have no value. And that's why we perform alpha testing in testnets in blockchains which are publicly accessible in their testnets. After that, we have beta testing, beta stage. It is usually performed in mainnet with real money, where people can solve some of their business cases, some of their user cases, using their real assets. But before this stage, safety audit is to be performed, and the safety audit of some of its components. And this is the same process, and it takes approximately a month or 2 months, depending on the number of elements. That's why we move as follows. We will launch alpha testing, and after that we will improve some elements, and we will add some options and some features, and then we'll take some version and bring it to audit. And after that, after we've completed that, we will do mining. And at this stage, there will be a token already, and people can try earning money with that, and so on. Like that, it's like that. And it's important to say that I'm happy to announce that alpha testing of Eywa project is starting on the 8th of September. Please follow our social media. Please subscribe to our social media. It will be very interesting because we will offer gamification. It will be performed in the form of a game. You can try different features, and you can develop, you can get bonus scores playing the game. And the more scores you get, the more tokens you can get later, Eywa tokens, because 1% of the whole emission value will be given for so-called, well, to distribute that to the early users, for testers and to certain people who are influencers, for example, who can boost communities. And some of those tokens will be distributed among those who participate in testing. The testing will be a pretty long one because we will add features step by step for users to get used to that, and it will last during the whole fourth quarter of this year. Oh yeah, it's great. But I think for our audience, there's a lot of information. So the first is thing you have to pay attention to. Eywa project is now starting its alpha testing, and the important date was announced by Boris, September 8, 2021. Every First of all, DigiU users will have an opportunity to test the product, and this testing will allow us to improve the product, to reveal some faults, to correct those faults. And for those who take part in those testings will get bonuses. And another thing which was so great for me, a certain way of gamification you mentioned. Please keep in mind, dear audience, testing of the product will be like playing a game. You will not just do something strange, something bizarre, and see how the system reacts and send us a screenshot or so. It will be a game. Because first of all, it will be interesting, and for passing certain stages of this game, you will get scores. And when you get a certain number of scores, you will get a token or tokens. Is it correct, Boris? Well, in general, yes. I would like to add something. You will earn scores as you are getting into Mainnet, and we will develop the collection of unique tokens, and they will be in proportion to those tokens, and they will be distributed to the users depending on the number of scores you've got. The more scores a user gets, and those MFT can be converted to Eywa tokens depending on the level of their availability, and we will distribute those bonuses between those who were maximally involved in the testing. It will be approximately like that. Great. And there are even more details now and even more information. And this information is valuable for those who understand. But for those who don't understand, I recommend you to be with us on the 8th, before September 8th. Maybe watch Boris, the course of Boris. And I really recommend you to participate in this testing, to play those games, which in fact are really important for the development process of our global process, global product. If you've read this article, which was written about us, and it was written that this product can change the industry. And this is very important to understand. And this is, of course, important to use those opportunities you will have. Testing starts on September 8th. How exactly it looks like, what exactly it looks like, and what exactly you should do, it will be published later, closer to the date. Of course, it will be published in our social media, in the social media of Eywa product, and we will offer you the link, and maybe there will be some program which will allow our users to get our securities for subscription to our social media. We have tried that already. Our partners are happy and they get securities. They use our bonus program, and they contribute to all those things we are always happy to speak about. We have even spoken about the opportunities our audience have if they participate in the testing, and of course later the scores you will get can be converted to the real tokens. And I think at our previous webinars it was frequently discussed, because there are lots of questions in the chat. Yes, I can tell you a little about that very briefly. Briefly speaking, tokenomics of our Eywa product means that a token is used in the protocol itself. You need that, first of all, so that relayers network is safe. These tokens will be blocked in relayers that transfer the information between blockchain, and just in case they can be used as guarantee in case of false actions, and those tokens will be used for liquidity providers, for those people who provide assets to the decentralized exchange to get bonuses, and those bonuses will be in the form of tokens. And one more feature, important feature, is that all holders of Eywa tokens later, after a while, when we finished with development of our features, they will use in management of the protocol, they will have the right to vote and to control certain settings of our system, approximately like that. And it should be added also to for the third-party developers to use our protocol for data exchange, and they will pay with our tokens for that. And it will have lots of variants of application. If you are interested in numbers, in figures, it can be said very generally that the emission will be allocated like that. Approximately 20% will be for private rounds, and there will be 2 of them. The first will be closed this fall, this autumn. We have partners from BR Capital, and together with them, we form the funds. And in September, we will start speaking with the funds, and we will start collecting the first private round. And the second private round will happen after we've finished the development and after we've entered mainnet. Approximately at this stage, after we've passed the audit and we've entered mainnet. More than that, there is a share belonging to DigiU, and the share for the team employed by us. These people will have an opportunity to have an option, and this is required because people who develop something new should be involved in that. And this is normal practice which has come to us from the Silicon Valley. They use it a lot in their startups. And we've got a pool for our advisors, but most of the tokens will be used for DAO. This is a decentralized autonomous organization, which Eywa actually is. This is a non-commercial fund which will hold hackathons and grants, and it will also offer financing for liquidity providers in the form of different grants. And respectively, 1% of the emission will be used for the early users, approximately like that. Yes, so the early users are those who participate in alpha testing. And we will also have an opportunity a little bit later. It will be possible to test the network of relayers. We are planning to do that in the 4th quarter of this year, and we will give people an opportunity to launch nodes. And for this activity, people will get bonuses. Fine, perfect. And I would like to draw your attention to the important things Boris has just listed for you to understand what Boris actually mentioned. In October, there will be the first private round of interaction with the funds. And this is actually what cooperation with BR Capital gave us. What does it mean for the project and for the DigiU ecosystem? For us, it means that we're entering our next stage of development. We are supported by funds, and our first potential important product is really important. And for you, it means that once in a while, some time ago, you took the correct decision to participate in our project, to be involved in our company. And for me, it's always really great to speak about the prospects our company is having and about the successes we have already reached. And it will be just correct, it will be right. Before, it will be right that our audience, that for our audience there will be certain privileges right before the alpha testing. Please follow our news. We will inform you about the new opportunities. Of course, I'm looking forward to alpha testing, because I would like to try this game myself, and I would like to try to get some tokens, of course. And well, I would like to add about the rounds, the investment rounds. Basically, the investment rounds determine capitalization of the project, and they give the value, they demonstrate the value. But if we speak about the limited emission, when we have the investment round, it means automatically that each token has this price, a certain number of cents. And like in many startups, in the startup world, it is very important for the project to grow in its capitalization. That's why this system has been created, and that's why this system is now employed by the crypto world. As I have already spoken at many webinars, I said that it is not much difference from what is already available. The capitalization of the project is growing, and the price of the token at the market is growing as well. And this is my comment. This is a very important comment, because there are a number of questions in the chats. In different countries, people ask questions, and but I think it was a very detailed answer. I would like to highlight what we have already mentioned in our posts, in our webinars with Alexander, and the holders of the securities, of DigiU securities. This opportunity is available to everybody, to each and every of you. And we have not yet determined the definite method and the technique, but the more securities you have, the better position you might have. So please follow our news, please buy our securities, please pass KYC, and be the co-owners of our technologies. I would like to add something more to what Alexei has said. Not an opportunity to buy, but an opportunity to get the tokens. This is a very important difference. You will not buy, you will get these tokens. Oh yeah, Boris, it was a very good comment. And of course, I am always grateful to Boris for his valuable comments. Well, dear friends, the most important thing you can do right now is to follow our news, to subscribe to our social media, to Eywa social networks, and we will publish anything, everything, of course. We will have to form the community right now. We will have to deliver the important information to you and to offer you the opportunities you will have in future. So Boris, thank you very much for your comment. It was really important. And now I would like to, if Boris wants to add something, please add. Okay, I would like to start answering the questions. We have already answered some of those questions. When can we get Eywa tokens? It were questions like that. There were some simple questions, and well, basically, Boris, please give answers as simple as possible. Because of course, most of our people are not experts. What is the difference between Eywa and Pancake Swap, for example? The difference is that Pancake Swap is the decentralized exchanges which work in only one blockchain. Uniswap works only in Ethereum. Now they've added Optimistic, but still it's also Ethereum. PancakeSwap works in smart chain. In those decentralized exchanges, you can only exchange tokens within one blockchain. With Eywa, you can exchange tokens between blockchains. Maybe you don't understand right now why you should need that, but if we speak about people who earn with DeFi, please believe me, it is really a good and required opportunity, because in different blockchain ecosystems, the profit rates for the same assets are very different. For example, if in Ethereum you earn with stablecoin farming, and if you find 20%, it's a good chance, and the fees will be $100 to enter and to leave the position. But if you use smart chain, you can find the profitability rate up to 40-60% with stable farming, and the fees will be very low. But for people to go from one blockchain to the other, you need our Eywa exchange. I would like to add that, yes, those questions are because people just don't know about the decentralized finances, what opportunities they offer. After you start learning, getting to know about those opportunities, you understand how many operations, how many transactions you have to do to perform, to exchange, to transfer your funds from one blockchain to the other. And we have started to do that with our DigiU Wealth product, and we understand what it is about. And Eywa project basically leads to the opportunity which are now available only for highly skilled professionals, will be available to ordinary people. And this is what Boris and his team are working on right now. For you as a customer who uses this Eywa, it is a very convenient thing. The convenience is much higher, and this is what you should pay attention to. And you can use Eywa to study the topic of decentralized finances. Maybe you should just dive into this topic, because this is our future, and this is no longer future. This is the future we are living in right now. The next question from the Russian chat. Eywa, did you develop it yourself, by yourself, completely by yourself? well, if you speak about the idea, yes, this is our idea, of course. If we speak about the implementation, DeFi is an open source technology. How can we say that the project was developed completely by us? Of course, it consists of lots of elements developed by someone else. We are just functioning like engineers to compile a complex system from those elements, approximately like that. If you need more information, I can speak in more details, but yes, I think the question was if it was your original idea or not. Yes, obviously, yes, it was our idea. Yes. There is an assumption that an idea costs nothing before you implement it. Now, of course, there are many projects like that on the market, and the competition is pretty high, but we've got several advantages, and we are preparing a white paper. This is the description of the project. This is basically ready. In September, we will demonstrate it. You can read that and you can compare the characteristics of different solutions. They are different in many parameters, and respectively, we are working on the solution to be one of the best, approximately like that. But there are lots of ideas, of course, ideas you can find anywhere. There are many people with ideas like ours, of course, but as is frequently said, devil is in detail. Yeah, there are a couple of other questions. A beta version will be launched in the first quarter 2022, right? Yes, but it will work in mainnet. Yes, this is an important addition. One more question. Will it be possible to exchange any tokens and coins? So Ethereum, Solana, and Matic? Yes, exactly. Yes, we will add liquidity pools, but we will start with the most popular ones. This is stablecoin, Bitcoin, different like versions, different representations of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. We will also use that. It is being developed right now, but I think in the first quarter of the next year it will be in mainnet, and the amount of tokens will be added step by step, because of course it is a slow process. Now PancakeSwap, for example, has several hundreds of pools, but it started with 5 or 6 pools, and we will develop exactly in the same way. This is what is called business development, integration with different projects. We will add some pools with their tokens, and step by step we will increase the number, but we will start with the most demanded ones. Well, perfect. 2 more questions. And for many listeners, it will be an important answer because more people will understand what Eywa is about. These are from the foreign chats. First question. Can we trade with our coins in Binance? So maybe you can speak about any exchanges. I think the question is when there will be listing in Binance. Right now, at the original initial stages, we haven't planned to enter the centralized exchanges. It is enough for us that we are an exchange, actually. Maybe we'll have a listing like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, but Binance, I'd say I'll wait till it offers to list us on their own. because it will be a pretty expensive story actually if we offer it on our own. Of course, it would be a good plan to connect to certain centralized exchanges, but it is not a priority. Yes, I think this question is just because people don't understand the specifics very well. Please, the one who has asked the question, please study the white paper as soon as it is published. Please read the white paper. Please go deeper into the details, and you will have a better understanding. When DeFi appears, listing in centralized exchanges is the secondary event because all pre-sales earlier they were called SAO, now they are called IDO, initial DEX offering. All tokens initially are sold at decentralized exchanges, and listing at a centralized exchange happens later, much later, normally half a year later or a year later, before this or that product is listed in a centralized exchange. Yes, it is important to understand that. And of course, it is important not to live in the past. Please follow our news. And another question: how long will testnet period last? I think it will take the whole fourth quarter, until the end of 2021. It will be a multi-stage, a multi-level process. We will add features, we will add new opportunities, and we will offer the opportunity to earn as many scores as possible and to get the highest possible allocation of tokens. So please, any user, all users, please be involved and please give us feedback, and give us feedback about the faults and the bugs you can find, because we are ready to correct the bugs, to debug the system so that everyone has the best experience possible. Because of course it is all about how this could have been done. We are waiting for the feedback from our users, and I hope it will be a real partnership with our users, and we are ready to create the best products, the most convenient product they have ever seen. One more question, which I think is important. It is not a question even, but I think we should speak about that. Will it be safe to keep money in pools because there are so many frauds about the liquidity pools we will be using? Because this question is maybe the same as have you written the code yourself. As I have already spoken in my course on finances, different protocols, they are interlayered, and the liquidity pools and their main code base will be taken from the most popular decentralized exchanges, and it will include Uniswap version 2. There will be also Uniswap version 3. And I can say that maybe in my net, there will be pools like Curve. I think now you can get some understanding. Maybe balance can be added also, because we are flexible, and in each of the blockchains we can add different features suitable for different assets, and safety of dexes will be guaranteed because we are not changing the codes of the developments which are already developed. But for us to save the investors' funds, and to provide the highest possible safety, we will not change the codes. We will use them like that. The auditors who will check us, who will control us, they will just check that the codes are exactly the same as those used in billion codes. Our task is and will be to secure the code, to guarantee the safety of the code we have written, and we will attract several auditing companies, globally known auditing companies. Of course, we will inform you about the results of the testing in Eywa social media. Please subscribe to Eywa social media. I think, Boris, we will finish our webinar, and let us finish that with your personal opinion. Of course, you have already informed us about the articles, about the interviews, but where are we going? Where are we moving this world to with our Eywa project? My personal view is as follows. To unite several blockchains in one ecosystem, it is necessary to connect, to create cross-change. I've analyzed lots of similar projects, and mainly they have the same issue. According to their view, transfer from one blockchain to the other is all around a limited number of persons. Of course, I would not like to go deep into the detail, but in those models, the responsible, only a very limited group of people is responsible for the whole operation, and this limited group consists of 100 people maybe, and we have found the solution which is that as many people as possible can participate in the data transfer, and it will be a way to connect several blockchains, different blockchains. And after we've tested the decision, after we've controlled the decision, a great number of projects can choose this technology to build their cross-chain solutions, because it will be not a limited group of people. And but if we speak about the ordinary people, it gives an ordinary person an opportunity to transfer, to move from one blockchain to the other with the same speed. And it is an opportunity not to pay different fees in different blockchains. If we look into the future, it will lead to the solution that an ordinary person can just earn money with DeFi without going deeply into the details of that, what blockchain is used, and so on and so forth. He will just see the numbers, the profitability figures, and push a couple of buttons, and everything will happen automatically. It will be in future, of course. But to come to that future, we will have to pass the stage we're working on right now, and the whole community of developers, of DeFi developers, is moving in that direction. Yes, it was very important information, because basically we are just working for people staying in different countries and who try to understand the complex things. When Eywa is launched, when Eywa is there, everything will change and everything will be much simpler. in some stories, because this is a very simple story, but there is always an interest in an ordinary person who will just have to perform very simple actions and to get the visible result. And this is of our main goals of the whole DigiU ecosystem, to act, to work for the sake of ordinary people, and to turn the ordinary people to those who use the profits and the advantages of the modern technologies. Boris, I thank you a lot. I thank you very much for this webinar, for your participation, and of course, I will be very thankful to people who were there with us, who've been here with us. Please share this webinar with your friends. Please put a like. Please help us share this information. Because we are speaking about unlimited opportunities, but we have to use this opportunity. And this is an opportunity which is available for everybody. And the translation was done now into English, French, Spanish, and Italian. And I think later we will translate that into many other languages. And it means that the whole world is now having this opportunity. And of course, I would like to add that I thank you for your attention, and please subscribe to our social media, trying to understand the product, participate in the testing. We will help you. We will help you everywhere where there is something which is not clear to you, and we are waiting for your feedback, and because we are happy to improve. And thank you very much for your attention. I would like to join Boris to the words of Boris. I would like to thank you for participation. Boris, goodbye, and guys, goodbye. See you later.
Сьогодні чата прямо раз.
Добрый.
Рад вас видеть. Я давно слышал вас, но
Да.
не видел.